Let's talk about when the paisas get off.
Welcome back to Broken Bobby's transformation page. In the late 80s, I became involved with drugs and would eventually become part of that lifestyle of trafficking, addiction, and violence. Over the next 20 years, I would be in and out of jail and prison. If you're thinking about trying something or you're dealing with addiction, your life don't need to go down the same path mine did. I hurt a lot of people, both physically and emotionally. These are my stories of how I transformed my life, and you can too. Let's get.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can see by the title and the thumbnail, today we're talking about the paisas and when they get off and some other stories about paisas. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that like button, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Share the video. Hit that notification bell so that anytime I go live, like I did earlier tonight, or when I drop a new video, you will be informed. And hit that join button. I want to give a shout out to Fractured Christian, who is the newest member of the Broken Bobby family. Welcome. I appreciate you. And let's get into this story today. So, growing up in the neighborhood in San Bernardino, paisas. Now, if you don't know what a paisa is, typically, and don't come after me in the comments on this one, but typically they're the Mexican Americans, like the guys from Mexico, basically, that speak Spanish and like that. Now, there's exceptions to that rule. El Güero Paisa, who is a follower of the channel, I follow your channel as well, bro. Shout out to you. Is a white guy that ran with the Paisas, and there's other uh, people that run with the Paisas as well. So it's not exclusively Mexican Americans, but the vast majority are. Okay, so growing up in San Bernardino, uh, I kicked it with the homies out on the streets and ran around a lot. And, you know, a lot of times paisas or, the Mexican guys would be victimized. Like you'd have the guy going around pushing the cart with the little ice creams, and like those guys would get robbed a lot. They were seen as soft targets, and that was sort of a mentality that I had going into the penal system. Okay. Now, my view on that would change as the years went on, but going in like the county jail, like you had like Bloods, Crips, like the Southsiders, and like to me, like these guys. Sorry about it. That damn fly, but like these seem like the real people you needed to worry about, right? And uh, like I said, my opinion of that would change as time went on. But I'll say this about paisas. Paisas are hardworking guys, and I would go on to work with a lot of them after I would end up out of prison eventually, and start actually making an honest living. And but in county jail, like I said, these guys are friendly, always laughing and joking and stuff. And like I said, I never really thought much of them. And shout out to the Paisa homies. Nothing but love and respect. And that would my like I said, my opinion of that would change as time went on. So LA County Jail, the first riot with the Paisas. Like these guys were with the business. Like they didn't want, for some reason, they didn't want to kick it off. There was an issue where our shot caller got into it with their shot caller over their shot caller jumping the shower line on our shot caller. Our shot caller got off on him, and basically, word traveled around pretty quick. There was 9 woods in the storm. There was probably about 30 paisas and uh, some Southsiders that would go on to assist him when the stuff went down. But word quickly went around, hey, be on your toes. It might kick off with the paisas. So, for a day or two, like there was tension in there, but they wouldn't kick it off. Okay, now this is county jail stuff, right? So ultimately, we had some guys getting ready to go out to court, and I've told this story before, the LA County Jail riot story. You can go back and check it out. I would pin it if I knew how, but I don't know how. So bear with me. I'm still learning this stuff, and unfortunately, I don't have much time to learn. So I'm doing the best I can. But like I said, a couple days had went by. They hadn't kicked it off, but they said that it wasn't over. So we got together. We had a white meeting, and we had some guys that were getting ready to go out to court. So we made the decision that we were going to kick it off and just get it over with, basically. Our shot caller had talked to the Southsider shot caller who was from San Fernando Valley. And the Southsider guy basically said he was going to tell the homies to stand down, but he couldn't guarantee anything. Well, that was enough for us, and we kicked it off. It went down. It was a good riot, as riots go. You know what I mean? When you're outnumbered 4 or 5 to 1, it usually don't end too well. And honestly, I can't say that like that we won, we lost. Like we took some lumps in that one, but it was to make a point, right? But that's not what this is about. So then I would move on to prison, and one of the first things that happened when I was in prison, I didn't witness this one, but this was the buzz that was going around when I was in reception, that the paisas had found one of their guys with bad paperwork, and they basically unalived him with weapons, if you know what I mean. And, I thought to myself, like I said, I had these misconceptions about these guys that, that they weren't the most hardcore guys out there or whatever. And, you know, here we are. Okay, first thing I hear about is the paisas unaliving one of their own. And I'm like, okay, maybe I misjudged this a little bit. Now, I would go on to land in CCF across the street, Delano CCF. And I've told this story also about this one. I did not even get a chance to make my bed. I walked into this place, everybody was grouped up. Well, the whites were grouped up and the paisas were grouped up. And you can feel it. You can just feel it in the air when something's going on. And I wasn't even familiar with this place yet. And I said, oh man, here we go. So I set my bedroll down and it kicked off. And this was a long one because in these CCFs, there's no gunner. There's security guards basically. And all they're going to do is they lock the doors and they wait for the Department of Corrections to show up. And luckily we were literally right across the street from North Kern. So they sent a strike team over there to end it. And these guys were warriors, like it wasn't the misconception that I had from before, like these guys were with the business. And like I said with the last one, this one was more evenly numbered, so I felt like it was more in our favor. But like these guys weren't laying down for nothing, like don't let the friendly attitudes fool you. Like these guys will go to war. So that one went down. uh, that was the last time we went to battle with the paisas. But I've seen in the county jail where the paisas have gotten off with the blacks, and like these guys there's some soldiers there, you know what I mean? And so eventually I would parole. And before I paroled, though, I had seen some things. Like I had been some places with some people. And the thing is, being in the drug game, most of the meth is coming from south of the border. And their soldiers are the ones that are up here distributing it, right? So I went with somebody to get something, and in this garage there were pallets of meth, basically, and other things, I'm sure. Uh, and a dude sitting there with a AR type of rifle, and I thought to myself, "Wow, like this is crazy." But these cartel members, if you will, and I'm not mentioning anybody in particular because I don't know nothing about that, but they will make you disappear if you don't take care of business. They're known for that stuff. They're known for torture and stuff like that. And you know, like I said, with the business. So after I eventually did parole, like I came back to the streets with a whole new respect for the paisas, the Mexicans, that are not gang affiliated. And the thing is, doing time in prison, you come to learn that you need to respect everybody, because you may think one group is weaker than the next group or whatever, and people are always going to say, oh, this group is stronger than that group. But when the riot goes down, that weaker group may still unalive some of the people in your group in a big major incident. So, you know, how does that work? Like, oh, those guys are weak, but they killed one of your homeboys. You know what I mean? So the lesson that I learned is you respect everybody. And for me, that means definitely shout out to the Paisas once again. Like I said, nothing but respect for these guys. When, it was time to go, they went. And, that Riverside County jail riot, like I said, like in that one, they did not wait for the blacks to engage. Like they had their little meeting and they came out of the meeting running, and some of them had their pieces, and they did their thing. You know, uh, I'm not going to necessarily say they won that battle, but they definitely made their presence felt, and they definitely earned their respect from everybody in that facility. So I'm not going to necessarily say they lost it either, though. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Who wins, who loses, right? I mean, you go out there and smash on another group, like they're not going to bring you ice cream as a reward. This is prison. This is jail. Like it sucks. But yeah, like I said, nothing but love and respect for the Paisa homies out there. Shout out to you. And yeah, that's the video for the day, basically. Uh, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and tell me your experiences with the Paisas. Or if you are a Paisa, tell me your experiences with the other races. I appreciate it. Uh, hit that notification bell so that when I go live or drop a new video, you will be informed and you can jump on it when you're ready. And join the channel, become a member. Once again, shout out to Fractured Christian who joined on the live yesterday. I appreciate you. Family, fitness, and freedom are the things that allow me to get my life together, and they can help you as well. The thing is, if we're not out there using and getting ourselves into trouble, drinking and driving, and those sort of things, then you don't have to worry about being in these institutions and finding out which group is the most chingon. You know what I mean? Because even the perceived weakest group, and I'm not saying that that's the Pisces, but I'm saying, a lot of people want to say that's the Woods or whatever. Man, the thing is, you respect everybody alike, because when you're locked up, anybody can take your wind. And then what do you have? You know what I mean? So, it's just a matter of building a strong foundation around you. You are the company that you keep. If you're hanging around with a bunch of knuckleheads that are smoking scante, then chances are you're going to be a knucklehead doing the same. And nobody wants to see that. Your family don't want that. Your loved ones don't want that. Your mom and dad don't want that. Your kids don't want that. So let's make today the best day possible. And, let's do great things, guys. So, shout out to everybody that participated in the live earlier this morning. And don't look at the mountain. Just start climbing.